guys. So today I thought what I would do is give you a foundation look that I do for my problem skin. I have horrible skin. I've never loved my skin. It's one area where I've always struggled. And so what I thought was that I would just go show you my bare naked face, talk to you a little bit about what I deal with, and then show you just one of the ways that I combat that with makeup. I use several different foundations depending on what look I want, or if I want a quick look. I use a mineral powder foundation, which is what I thought I would show you today, for just day-to-day life and kind of how I get that to cover up my red and all of the texture and stuff that I deal with. So, because it can be very, very problematic. So I wanted to give you a glimpse of that, because it takes a whole lot of finesse to get this face to look like this, because this is not it in its natural, magnificent beauty. And I am being sarcastic about that. So anyways, what I'm going to do is just give you a look from start, and then you can see how I apply the foundations and what I do to kind of finesse the red out, and then I'll give you a finished look. So hope you enjoy this today. Okay, you guys, here it is. Full face, no makeup look. Natural glam. Pretty, isn't it? So this is my skin in its natural state, day to day. It's not super bad today. It can be worse than this, or it can sometimes have better days than this. I have a combination of rosacea and keratosis pilaris, so I get red, I have bumps, I have texture, a lot of broken blood vessels and capillaries and things like that. I don't know if you can see the texture, but it's pretty rough like sandpaper, little tiny, tiny little bumps all over. And I've been dealing with this for a long time. And, there's a lot of beautiful ladies and gurus and makeup artists on YouTube who do wonderful makeup looks, and I love watching them. But what they do doesn't work for me all the time on the face, because most of them, they may have a blemish or two, or they occasionally deal with some texture or something, but the severity obviously is not the same. So what looks beautiful on their skin doesn't quite cover my skin the way it needs to. And I have a quick routine, and I have a longer routine depending on what I'm doing. If I'm just going out for the day to go shopping, or go get lunch or whatever, I just want to be able to throw on something quickly and get out the door. I don't want to have to take too long to do it. So for those days, I use a mineral powder foundation. For maybe a special occasion or a more glamorous look, or if I'm going on to a special event, then I do a little bit more in depth with more primers and a liquid foundation and take a little bit longer. But for that day to day, I'm typically not going to run out without something on my face, because, although I'm not, I guess, embarrassed by it, I mean, after, 40 years of dealing with it, you kind of get used to it. But it does get a little old if you go out without anything on and people see this and they're like, oh my gosh, are you having an allergic reaction? Are you okay? Or, oh my word, you've got a rash on your face. What's going on? It just, after a while, it's kind of disheartening and discouraging, and you just don't want to hear it or have to answer their questions. So, because unfortunately, I find in the world that not everyone adheres to the same rules as I do, of not saying something negative, only saying positive things. At least I try to. So I always try to cover at least my face with some powder foundation before I go out, just to save myself the trouble. But if you have problem skin and you're watching those tutorials and you're going, okay, I love the eye look, I love the lipstick, but that foundation is not going to cover my issue, welcome to my world. So what we're going to do today is just go through what I do for my easy everyday makeup routine on my face to cover this up. So first thing I do is prime. Now this is not necessarily a primer, but it works like that for me. It's by Murad Invisible Perfecting Shield. It's got a broad spectrum SPF 30, which I love. But what I really like about this stuff is it's a serum, and it literally kind of smooths my face out when I wear this. It takes away a lot of that texture and just makes it easier to get the makeup to blend. So I literally just slather this stuff all over my face. I really don't like the smell. But if it does what it's supposed to, then I'm okay with that. With my L'Oreal Minerals True Match. I love this stuff. I used to use Bare Minerals, but I have to use a little more than the average person. So I was going through it rather quickly, and it was the cost was piling up. So when I switched to this, I didn't realize how much I would love it, and I do love it, and I've never gone back. I don't know. It's $12 at Walmart or Target, and it really does the trick. It is a loose powder, so it can be messy. So you're going to want to, you know, either have like a cap or a mirror to put it on. I always keep a towel across my lap when I'm using it so that I don't make a mess, that kind of thing. But when you see the results, you'll be like, okay, that's worth a little bit of messy powder. Enough said. So I am going to go in with my CC Plus, It Cosmetics CC Plus Eye Cream. And this is what I use under my eyes. Now, obviously, if I was using a liquid foundation, I would wait and put my concealer on after I did my foundation. But since I am not, since I am going to go in with a powder foundation, I'm going to go ahead and put it on now. And as you can see, I put it around my eyes and I put it on my eyelids. One, it just helps prime my eyelids for my eyeshadow, but also, I mean, I have red under my eyebrows. You see that? And so it just covers that up too. It Cosmetics has their thing together. They are one of the most underrated cosmetics, I think. I don't hear enough about them. I think they should be pushed more, supported more. I'd like to see more of them because they are just, their stuff is awesome. It all has matte SPF in it. Their foundations are just awesome. They're amazing. I'm going to put a little bit right here between my eyes because that's so red. Kind of cover over the eyebrows. And don't worry, I'll fix that up when I go in with my eyebrow stuff. So that's, I just put that little bit of concealer on underneath my eyes just to cover that. And now I'm good to go with foundation. So I'm just going to use my Morphe powder brush. And like I said, I just shake a little bit onto that so it's on the tip of my brush. And then I'm going to start on one side and I'm just going to pat it on. And then I'm going to go for it. And I'm just going to start buffing. Buff, 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 buff. A lot of people would use a kabuki. I found that it was removing more than it put on, at least in my opinion. So I switched to a powder brush, and the powder brush does the trick. And I'm rough on it, I will admit that. And I know it's not exactly how every makeup artist tells you to do things, but most makeup artists aren't trying to cover this kind of red either, like I am. So, you know, after 40 years of trying pretty much anything and everything, you kind of find what works and what doesn't, and you go with it. So now I'm going to do this side. Same routine. Circular motions, back and forth. I'm going to go up and over the eye, into the forehead. Sometimes you'll see I'm kind of almost tapping like I would with a foundation brush. Especially when I get in here. I'm going to like cup that like a beauty blender almost and just get into the corners of the nose. I have had people ask me, how do you do that with a nose piercing? And it was a tricky task at first, but I found that if I just wet a toothpick, wow, okay, not a toothpick, a Q-tip. If I wet a Q-tip, just run it over the top, that powder foundation comes right off. Because I don't put so much on that it takes a lot to get off. So, okay, we're going to go over the chin because obviously my chin is red. We want that to go away. I'm going to go down my neck. powder gets everywhere, you guys, when you use this stuff. So, and I'm being a little messy today. So just be forewarned, put, you know, wear a t-shirt, put a towel down, whatever you're doing, because it makes a mess. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay guys, so there it is. All the red's covered. I think it looks pretty darn good. So, done with the foundation. So then what I'm going to do is just show you what I do just to kind of finish the look in terms of blush and contour. I do a very light contour on my day-to-day. I don't do a lot. I don't do anything heavy. I just use this taupey color right here in my Anastasia kit. Get a little bit on the brush, not a lot. Kind of blow it off. This brush is great. It's a Morphe brush, and I use it only for contouring. It's real hair, so it's not synthetic, so it picks up the contour really good, distributes it really good. And like I said, I don't use a lot. I just use a little. Sometimes I'll use a little bit to warm up the forehead. I don't like a really glittery bronzer. So I'll just put a little bit up there. Under there. That's about all I'm going to do for bronzer. I'll brighten under the eyes a little bit, use the lighter color just to go under the eyes. Now I'm going to go in with my favorite blush, which is my Milani Illuminoso. This is another drugstore brand that I love. I think this was $4 or $5. It's one of my favorite blushes. It gives such a sun-kissed kind of glow to the skin. It's really beautiful. Kind of just run it straight into that contour. And this is an old brush. I can't seem to find my blush brush, so I just grabbed one. Okay. Blush is on. And then I like to do just a light highlighter on, you know, just an everyday. Again, another drugstore brand that has really stepped up its game, Wet n Wild. I love this Mega Glow Illuminating Palette. What I'm going to do is just take a couple of these light colors right here on this end and go in with those. Just give a nice glow to the skin. I mean, I think you can see that even now, just under this light. Really is pretty. Then we'll go in and do the other side. Sometimes I use a fan brush if it's a heavier highlight that kind of tends to be heavy-handed with it, but this is an easy highlight and I don't have to have this same amount of control. And don't give me trouble over the nose. If you don't like it, that's fine. You do you. I'll do me. I've always had a flair for the dramatic, so whatever gives it a more dramatic look, I'm gonna do, because I love it. Okay. Cupid's bow. All right, so that's pretty much it. Big difference from when we started, right? So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and finish my eyes and put some lipstick on, and then I'll come back and show you the finished look, okay? Thanks, guys. Hey, you guys, so here I am back, have the eyes on, have the lips on, and if anybody's curious, the lip color that I am wearing right now is Milani, and it is called Precious. It's one of my favorites, actually. It's kind of my go-to for every day. It just goes on easy. It's liquid lipstick. It stays on all day. It's a beautiful color. I absolutely love it. It goes with almost anything, especially when you're doing just a natural eye. So have everything on. The last thing I'm going to do is spray down with my NYX Dewy Mist Finish just to set this all for all day. And I'm going to give it a pretty good fix because, make sure it dries. Hit myself in the chin. Nope, it looks okay. So guys, what I love about this foundation is that once I put this NYX finish on it, it is going to set and it's going to stay all day. And when I say all day, I mean all day long. I could put this on when I was working in downtown Kansas City. I'm in Nashville now, but when I was working in downtown Kansas City, I would have to get up at 5 and get out the door by 6 in order to get to work by 7. So this was my everyday routine because it was fast and easy. And so I would get up 5, my makeup would be on and done by 6, and I'd be out the door, and I usually didn't get home until 6. And I could go literally 12 hours, you guys, without having to touch up this at all. This mineral foundation stays on. Especially, you know, I don't know about oily skin so much. I know with dry skin, because that's what I have. I know with my dry skin, if I moisturize, I prime, and I wear it, and I put my setting spray on, it will stay all day. And what's really nice about this setting spray is it's a dewy finish setting spray, so it gives me a pretty natural look to the skin that I just have a nice, fresh look. And that's what I want when I go out and about in the world. And I don't want people focused on the things that I don't love about myself. I want people focused on the things I do love. I love my eyes. I love my lips. I love, you know, my hair, things like that. Things that are positive to me or that I have turned into a positive. So I want them focused on that. I don't want them focused on my yucky red skin. So I hope if you have yucky skin, whether it's red or blemished or, you know, have bumps or texture, I hope this kind of gave you some new ideas and some new hope for something you could do to maybe help cover that and solve that issue. I am always open to hearing from you guys. If you have questions, if you have ideas for other videos that you'd like to see, I would love to do that for you. So I'm just super excited to share what I've learned. And so any ideas or questions you have would be welcomed. Please make sure to like this video and hit the subscribe button and the little bell so that you get notifications when I upload something new. Until next time, you guys, have a great one. Bye.